How do security systems work? Isn't it interesting how everything is automated and computerized? Even the safety options for our cars, offices, and homes are now automated. This automation and computerization has minimized the need for hiring a lot of security guards to man the premises. In today's computer age, a good burglar alarm system is a great help in upgrading the security of our properties. It is amazing how burglar alarms work. Generally speaking, burglar alarm systems are composed of two major parts in order to work. First, burglar alarms have sensors. The most basic type of burglar alarm sensors are those that detect breaking in or when an intruder has come in. Some even include motion detectors, which work to identify change in position within a particular area. Some more advanced burglar systems even have smoke of fire alarms, which work to detect the possibility of accidental damage due to fire. Even panic detectors, who can identify changes in movement from people in the particular area. The burglar alarm is connected to a central or control unit that works by sending out a signal when an intrusion, fire, or panic was identified. Burglar alarm signals may be in form of Lloyd noises. The most advanced burglar alarm systems work by sending signals via the telephone lines or the internet. It is possible that the house owner may be alerted when an intrusion is identified when an advanced burglar alarm system is at work. Sensor types. Passive infrared. The passive infrared is the most common sensor found in household and small business environments. It's affordable and reliably functionality. The term passive refers to the fact that the detector does not generate or radiate its own energy. It works entirely by detecting the heat energy given off by other objects. Ultrasonic. Using frequencies between 15 and 75 kHz, these active detectors transmit ultrasound sound waves which are inaudible to humans. Once they hit an object or human, they bounce back and with a different level of kilohertz. Microwave detectors. This device emits microwaves from a transmitter and detects if reflected microwaves or reduction in the beam by using a receiver. So it's kind of like the ultrasonic. Instead, it doesn't measure sound, it measures the microwaves which are bounced back. Movement, which is really a mixture of all of them, is just that measures the heat, the positioning, the light difference, the movement, basically, of an object or human. Smoke or heat are more special ones, which are only in special types of them. Most of the new systems are equipped with these. They measure smoke, heat, and or even carbon monoxide. They are known as 24-hour zones, which means they are on at all times, not only when the alarm system is on and the owner is out of the house. These detectors reduce the risk of fire and help notify the fire department faster. Wired systems. Wired systems are convenient when sensors such as PRIs and smoke detectors require power to operate correctly. However, they are very costly to install due to the lot of wiring. Wireless systems, on the other hand, are often battery-powered transmitters which are easily to install and have less expensive startup costs, but may reduce the reliability of the systems if batteries are not maintained. Depending on the distance and construction materials in between the sensors, it might be one or more wireless repeaters may be required to get the signal to the alarm panel reliably. Wireless systems can be moved to a new home easily, an advantage for those who rent or move more frequently. This is a simple setup of a highly advanced home security system. As you can see, there are door systems, PRI sensors, smoke detectors, gas detectors, and an emergency button. These all go to the GSM alarm host, which is a box which you can find towards doors or different parts of the house, which are usually concealed. If detected, it can give off a light, a siren, and a mixture of them in a sound and flash siren. Then the signal is sent to a network alarm center system, which spreads it out to multiple people, like the police, the owner. As well as this, it can send an SMS or make an alarm call when alarming. This is more for for the user, but they can also activate the control panel and control it through remote controls, such as using their iPhone or by voice calling. Uses of ICT in burglar alarms. Here is an example of a table for a house with a couple of alarms. First, you can see the fire alarms. The input for fire alarms is the smoke detector, and the smoke detector isn't only for smoke, it detects smoke, fire, and carbon monoxide. After the sensor has detected these, it sends a signal to the main alarm system box, which is normally a white or really any color box towards the side of a house. After that, if the alarm sees that there's a threat, the alarm goes off in the house, and the police and the fire department are contacted. Then, for burglar alarms, different types of sensor, for example infrared sensors, they sense an object. The sensor sends a signal to the main alarm system in the same box as the fire alarm, for example. After that, the alarm goes off, the police and the owner are contacted through phone. Then, if the owner has come home and he doesn't have his arm key, which we'll go on to later, he must manually reset the box. So, the input is that the owner inputs the code or the key into the alarm system. The alarm system sends signals to these multiple sensors around the house to turn off. The output is that the house can be accessed without the alarms going off. An arm key is when the owner presses a lock button on his remote. The input for this is that he locks the house. The process is that once the signal gets to the main alarm system, it turns on all the sensors in the house. The output of this is that the house is secure from different threats. Here is a normal example of a burglar alarm system. As you can see, we have A to D. A, here's the arm key, which you use by a micro switch, which you keep in your hand. It's relatively small. Then it goes into a subsystem, which will open up the latch, and then which lets the buzzer know that it should work if any of the other alarms, which we'll go on to later, happens. Then, for example, if the burglar goes through the door, there's a reed switch, which is attached to the side of the door and tells if the door has been opened. After that, the inverter or the latch gets activated, which goes to the driver, and then the buzzer goes off, which sets off the alarm. If a burglar, however, goes through a window, which is more common, there is normally a pressure switch underneath the window, or there's an infrared pointing right at a window. This can again go to an inverter or to a latch, which then leads to the driver and a buzzer, which eventually goes off. Then, to the manual reset, as you can see at the very top next to D, there is here the subsystem input, which is called the push button. This deactivates the latch, deactivates the driver, which in turn deactivates the buzzer. This has been Uses of ICT in Burglar Alarms.